the Office of Nightlife, as well as the Office of Administrative and Tribunal Hearings. It's called MEND NYC. Actually, I'm going to move over to a different tab because it has more information. So basically what MEND is, it's a opportunity for neighbors and businesses to go into a mediation protocol if there's any issues outstanding with operations and any of the COVID-19 regulations being enacted for those businesses in response to any concerns that might come up with operations. So they are here to learn to deal with quality of life concerns between residents and businesses. It will also be available to work with landlords and small businesses to deal with disputes, as well as offering mediation on a voluntary basis between the parties that may have expressed concerns. There are a few exclusions to these mediation services, such as they are not available between two residents or neighbors within the same building. I'm reading from here. If the parties are already engaged in any form of litigation, same thing with landlord or commercial parties involved in any litigation, or if the small business is looking to review any commercial leasing needs. There are other programs to help businesses with commercial leases. These benefits of this are to avoid businesses receiving undue regulations or enforcement activities, and hopefully to resolve any of the concerns that may come up with their operations. So I wanted to just take a minute at the top of this meeting to share that resource around. I do invite community members to look at this as an option when dealing with any issues with operations of businesses, as well as our community members and committee members to share out to any establishments that might need a resource such as this. So thank you for allowing me the chance to share this with you.
Hey, James, could you put the website on the chat?
Yes, sir. I will do so momentarily.
Thanks, James.
To everyone. There we go.
I think so.
Right. So let me just do a quick check-in to see whether if there's any parties here that we are not expecting, or that we are missing any. So I did get acknowledgement from 628 Nostrin, Trinity Girl West Indian Cuisine, that they are in attendance tonight, and we'll be reviewing their new application. Is there any representative from 689 Washington? Can you please let yourself be known? Or 710 Nostrin Avenue. All right. I don't hear any opportunities for that, so we will call on our first applicant. Give me 1 second to get that information prepared.
I just ask, is anyone else on the call an applicant for another establishment?
Thank you. All right. I will also highly encourage any of our committee members to be on camera, as this is an open meetings, and we would like to make sure that we are representative and visible to any of our community members that are joining us today. All right, so I am about to put the application on screen. Thank you, Mr. Thurton. All right, so again, I might ask for support in making sure I don't mispronounce his name, but the applicant is Mr. Vindranath Sharan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ramcharan is here representing Trinity Girl West Indian Cuisine Incorporated, doing business as Trinity Girl West Indian Cuisine at 628 Nostrin Avenue, as a restaurant bar seeking a wine, beer, and cider license. The proposed establishment has 4 tables with 8 seats and 1 service bar with 8 seats. Maximum capacity 20. Hours of operation, 10 a.m. to noon or midnight on Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No outdoor spaces indicated on this application. No sound or music programming proposed. No live entertainment. Staff and security consists of 4 employees. There is expressed interest in this applicant being a part of the Community Board 8 local hiring program. 0 dedicated security personnel, but surveillance cameras and a manager on site is available. There are no residences in this building where this location is proposed, and 1 resident at the rear of the building on the Dean Street access. All right. At this time, I'd ask for any questions or comments from any community members about this application being proposed. Okay. At this time, I'll open up to any comments or questions from our committee members. Are there any questions?
Yes. This is Gail Muhammad.
Hi, Ms. Muhammad, please.
Hi. And as far as music goes, do you play music on Friday night outdoors?
Yes, we do. We have recently stopped because of the weather and so on, but we have it at a very minimal volume, so it wouldn't cause disturbance to the surroundings. It's recorded music though.
And it's amplified on speakers outside?
Yes. Yes.
All right, Mr. Ramcharan, I will advise you that amplified music outdoors in public spaces is not permitted without a permit from the local 77th precinct for every date that you would be playing music. So if you are in the interest of proposing outdoor amplified music, that must be vetted through the local precinct with an amplified sound permit for each occasion.
Understand. And really and truly, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to do it on the outside, since we're going to be, once we get granted with the, so we wouldn't have need to attract, customers. So I wouldn't be doing it in the future.
Thank you. Is there any interest? Has everybody had a chance to look at all the other supporting documents that the applications package consisted of, including a floor plan and photographs? I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity, that they've had an opportunity to review those. In fact, I can try to.
Question?
Yes, please go ahead.
There's going to be no amplified sound indoors also?
Indoors, we're just going to have a small speaker, but just for the inside. No amplify like DJ sets or anything like that. No.
Okay. Does the application need to be updated to reflect that? Did it have that at all on there, James?
Yes, Mr. Thurton, thank you for that. Mr. Ramcharan, that application that we've asked you to complete has an opportunity for you to include the programming that you just suggested, including the music indoors.
Okay.
Will you be able to update an application with the information that you've shared with us tonight about your indoor speakers and music program, and resubmit that application in time for our full board meeting, which would be next Thursday?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, this is Chai Hong. Sorry, I'm getting there to speak to greet you, all of you. But yes, we actually resend the application and resubmit the modification that you're asking for.
I'm sorry, Ms. Fong, what is your role with this application?
I'm sorry, didn't get you to introduce myself as the representative for 628 North Carolina Avenue, Trinity Girl.
Okay, so you're saying
you're
saying that the application that we received is not the most current application?
Is the most current application. Right now you're asking to modify the amplifier music on the
We are asking you to present your application with the most truthful and actual factual information that you are presenting. So if music is a part of your business, your proposed business's plan, then that music plan should be included in the application. Currently, it does not reflect any musical plans or speakers indoors or outdoors.
Oh, everything I submitted is truthful and factual. There are not amplifiers inside.
There's no speakers.
There are no
Ms.
speakers.
Fong, there's no
Everything's background
speakers?
music.
No,
No speakers.
No, they're
It's
not.
background music.
So let me just clarify. I mean, speakers, I mean, for music to be played, they have to be played on speakers, which is an amplification source. So that's what with the
Well-
information that we're asking about.
Oh, I see. But yes, it's actually background music. There are no actual speakers. Maybe some misunderstood regarding the wording, but there's a verbal misunderstanding. But there are no
I think
speakers.
the intent is for us to know if you're going to be doing live music, live bands,
Oh,
DJs,
no,
jukeboxes,
no.
etc.
no, nothing like that.
In this case, you would just put in that musical section of the application. You would put in there your speaker system and the fact that it's background music. So if you wouldn't mind, please updating that application to reflect that, and we'll proceed accordingly.
Okay, sure. That is not a problem. I will clarify.
Thank you very much. Are there any other committee members that have questions?
Yeah, one more question. If, for the owner, if the Nostrand Avenue able to develop, the Merchants Association, are you willing to, participate?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
If Nostrand Avenue reestablished their Merchants Association, are you willing to participate with the Merchants Association?
By all means, of course.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Thurton, and thank you, Mr. Ramcharan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to, let me see if I can share one more screen. I just want to go through the photos, right? Here's the photos that the applicant has shared with us for their exterior of their space, for the interior of their space. All right.
So, this is Janet speaking. What
Hi,
are the
Ms.
cross?
Collins.
Hi. What's the cross street on that?
I believe it's at Pacific Street and Nostrand Avenue.
No,
Thank you.
no.
Dean and Nostrand.
Dean and Nostrand.
Dean and Nostrand? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I am noticing on one of these photos, if I can, right here, this grill. I think you need to be mindful and make sure that open grilling, you have the appropriate permits if that is part of your service. Although we are not, that's not our jurisdiction. Just sharing that with you out of an abundance of concern and caution.
Yeah, that was just for storage. That
Okay.
grill in the photo there was for storage, but it's out of there right now, so it's not in the premises.
Thank you for that. Yeah, like I said, it's not under our purview, but it is something that I just noticed, and I want to make sure that businesses are aware that open grills and flames must be permitted accordingly, and storage of such needs to be vetted.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any other questions or comments. I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see any hands raised on the participant log. If I'm missing something, please chime in now. Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion from our committee member.
I motion to support the applicant.
I
I'm
second
sorry.
it.
I heard the beginning of a motion from Mr. Thurton. Can you complete that statement, please?
My motion is to support the application.
And then I heard a second.
I second it, Gail Muhammad.
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed. Mr. Thurton, if I may make a friendly amendment with the requisite that the applicant resubmit their application to reflect their music programming.
Thank you. I accept that amendment.
Ms. Mohammed, will you still second with that amendment? Ms. Mohammed?
Yes. You took
Is that
it from you?
Yes. Is that a yes that you will second?
Yes, I will second.
Thank you very much. Is Mr. Witherwax still available? It looks like we might have lost him. Uh-oh. Well, we might just need to wait one moment as we wait for Mr. Witherwax to rejoin and reinstate our quorum. Apologies for the delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Mr. Ellis, this is Ethel Tyus. Count me in if that helps.
Thank you, Ms. Tyus, and thank you for joining us. We are joined by our board chair, Ms. Ethel Tyus. I want to acknowledge her. Thank you very much. Is it? I think it's Miss George. Are you here still? I did just get a message from Mr. Witherwax, our co-chair, that he's trying to restart his computer, and I'm trying to determine whether or not we have a quorum with without his presence. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Keeps moving around. All right. Mr. Wood, are you a new member of our committee? Or are you a neighbor? Mr. Sam Wood?
He's muted.
I know. I don't know why. He can unmute himself. It looks like we have enough in any case, so I'm making sure I see. I want Mr. Witherwax, he's our secretary, to document this. So I apologize for the delay. Thank you, Mr. Wood. He just mentioned in the chat that he's a neighbor from Nostrand Avenue. Well, Mr. Allison. Well, certainly am appreciative of everybody's patience and understanding in this digital world of community meetings as we all navigate technical difficulties.
Mr. Ellis, if you want, you could go down the name and I can check yes or no for you if you want. If you have not.
Mr. Saunders, that would be greatly appreciated. If you want to make a document just of the roll call, I'll call out. And if you just want to document that and then either share a scanned document of what you wrote, that would be great. All right, so going down the list as I see them here, I believe 201 is Mr. Robert Puka.
Yes.
I believe 518 is Miss Muhammad.
Yes, that's her. She's 518.
Okay.
That's me.
Miss Muhammad, will you want to please document your vote?
Yes.
Got you. Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Miss Young?
Yes.
Miss Tyus? You're on mute.
I vote yes.
Thank you very much. Miss Weatherspoon?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Allison? Sorry, say that again?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Thurton? You're on mute.
Yes.
And then myself, Mr. Ellis, is a vote for yes. So it looks like the item is in support unanimously with the amendment that the applicant will submit an updated application to reflect their music programming. So, thank you very much.
Mr. Ellis, this is Ethel Tyus. What was the count on that vote?
Excuse me. can you please remind him of where the full board meeting next Thursday?
Yes, one thing at a time, please. Hold on one second. Mr. Saunders, can you let us know what the vote count was from Tyus?
10 in favor. No, zero no's, and no.
Thank you. Ms. Collins, I'm going to ask you to mute, please. We're getting some background noise.
It's not from me though, but I'll mute.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So then just reviewing other things on the agenda to make sure that we are not overlooking anything. Other agenda items included a sidewalk cafe alteration for 689 Washington. Just confirming there's no applicants here or any representatives for that application. Great. The final item on our agenda was a corporate change application for Savvy Bistro at 710 Nostrand Avenue. Looking to confirm that there's no applicant or representative for the applicant here today. All right. Those items don't seem to be items that are typically on any kind of countdown clock, so we can hold them over or wait for the applicant to submit appropriate paperwork at this time. Seeing no other agenda items, I would like to open it up for a couple minutes for any new items, new or old business that this committee might want to address at this time, since we have a few extra minutes and we are not encumbered with additional applications.
Yes, James, this is Gail Muhammad.
Hi, Ms.
I
Muhammad.
think you said one thing at a time. Did we remind Trini Girl about the full board meeting, the date and the place?
Yep, I will. Well, I'm going to defer the actual, I think the dates would be, pulling up my calendar, sorry. November 12th, and I will ask the district office to chime in to confirm November 12th. And it would be by WebEx teleconference platform, such as this one here. And I believe the time might be, is it 6 o'clock these days? Ms. Tyus, can you confirm that as the chair? Unmute.
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
The question was confirming the time for the full board.
7 o'clock, always 7.
It's 7 o'clock. All right.
Right.
So Mr. Ramcharar and his representative, Ms. Fong, we will be presenting this committee's action items to the full board on November 12th. The meeting will be convened at 7 p.m. And it'll be an opportunity for the full board to ratify this committee's work and decision. And we encourage a representative to be there in case there's any additional conversations or questions regarding that application. And thank you, Ms. Muhammad, for that second reminder. I was being overcame with a few different things.
Mr. Ellis? Mr.
Yes,
Ellis?
Ms. Titus.
There is, these meetings are on the board calendar, on the board website. And I was distracted earlier because I wanted to mention that round 2 of the Local Economic Support Corporation Small Business Recovery Fund is closing on November 6th. And that information was posted on the board, posted by the community board, and should be available on the board's website under resources.
Great. Thank you. I see that we're joined by Mr. Weatherwax for the sake of administration. Mr. Saunders was able to do the roll call vote for us, and so he will share his written documentation. The item passed unanimously with 10 votes in favor. Any other new business or old business that would like to be raised or addressed? I see Mr. Vicconi has joined us.
All right, James, it's something that we just have to be aware of is that the city's closing down restaurants and schools because of increased COVID So, it's something that we need to look out for our community. For people utilizing their masks in a correct way, so that we can keep our numbers down. That is a concern, and we don't want any issues in Prospect Heights and in Crown Heights. So, that's a concern that we do have, that we don't want our businesses to be closed because of increased numbers in our community.
That's a very good point. Thank you very much, Mr. Thurton. Any other items? Well, I will encourage everybody that hasn't done so already. Tomorrow is Election Day. Please exercise your right and liberty to vote. And also just other items for business concerning issues is that the plastic bag ban has now been re-implemented. So unless you are one of the exempt categories of businesses, plastic bans should no longer be being used in your local businesses, as well as there is a small fee for the remittance of any brown bags by the business, any paper bags.
I'd also like to mention one thing also. I just wanted to put a friendly reminder of Tuesday, November 10th at 7:30, Economic Development Committee will be meeting, and still looking for members and help as well. And I look forward to someone joining. You can find the WebEx information is on the community board's website as well.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. After a long delay, the Economic Development Committee is being reconvened, and we appreciate Mr. Saunders' leadership in helping us bring that committee back into activity, as obviously there are a number of issues that we face as from our business points of view. Mr. Vacconi, would you like just to give us a little brief update on Vanderbilt Avenue and the open restaurants program and how that's been benefiting and supporting food and beverage businesses there?
Sure. So as James pointed out, PHNDC is sponsoring Open Streets Restaurants on Vanderbilt Avenue. We close 5 blocks of Vanderbilt Avenue from Pacific Street to Park Place on Friday night and on Saturday afternoon and evening and Sunday afternoon and evening. And this weekend marked our 13th weekend of Open Streets Restaurants. Unlike other Open Streets Restaurants programs in Brooklyn that are run by bids, ours is actually run as a volunteer effort, and all of the people who work, we have about 40 volunteers that work to close the street and then marshal the event and then open the street back up again at the end. And it's been fantastic for the restaurants. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to describe it. It has gotten colder now, so there's not quite as much late night interest there. But for most of the run, it's just been terrific in helping restaurants to replace the revenue that they have lost to COVID-19. I've had a couple of restaurant owners say that if this program had not happened, they probably would have closed the doors forever. And it's turned into kind of a nice community event in many ways. It's a place now where people congregate on weekends. You see people picnicking on the medians on Vanderbilt Avenue, we have pop-up performances there of various kinds, which is kind of interesting. So it's been a really great program. Now, all that being said, there are some limitations to running a volunteer program, and I don't think we've decided we're not going to be able to continue it past Thanksgiving. So our last day will be November 22nd, which is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. We're working on a way to bring it up again in the spring. We're in discussions with the other sponsors of Open Streets Restaurants programs in Brooklyn, in Dumbo, in Atlantic Avenue, Fifth Avenue, Red Hook, and Sunset Park. And kind of as a group, we're trying to come up with a list of the things that we would like to see the city do to help make the program more robust and sustainable. So hopefully we will be able to come back up in the spring. So we'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Mr. Vicconi. Do you have an offhand number of the number of restaurants that are participating or benefiting from this program?
Yeah, we have 22 restaurants that are participating.
Thank you. That's pretty incredible. So we thank you and PHNDC's stewardship for helping support a number of businesses in our community, most all of which we're familiar with as they've come through our committee at one time or another to request privileges for alcohol services or outdoor dining. So we do thank the Prospect Heights Neighborhood Development Council for that activity and that volunteerism. So thank you very much, Mr. Vicconi. Any other questions or comments?
Yes.
I have my hand raised.
Oh, I do. I see it.
Sorry,
Please.
It's
Mr.
okay. Okay, I just would like to mention that Mark Thurton, Gail Muhammad, and myself, along with some vendors on Nostrand Avenue, our destination Nostrand was a huge success, which we had October 12th. We're hoping that's the beginning of bigger things to come with, more of the merchants along the Nostrand Avenue corridor between Atlantic and Eastern Parkway coming together and organizing themselves for bigger and better things for Nostrand Avenue. So I want to thank everyone who was able to come out and support us. And if I left anything out, Gail, Mark, that you might want to add.
Thank you for that, Ms. Young. And sorry, I recall you guys sharing that out at the committee last month, and I meant to check in on that. So I'm happy to hear that there was success around that, as I have been in a couple conversations with some of the members of the restaurant ownership there, and was excited to hear about their activities and their desire to kind of grow as a merchants organization. So I wish you the best in encouraging more of those businesses to participate, and certainly working potentially with Mr. Saunders' committee and the Economic Development Committee to explore ways that we can bring additional resources to our businesses on Nostrand as well as throughout the district.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Tyus?
Yes, thank you. I want to ask Mr. Saunders if you want to give a brief preview of the Popular Bank offer to join with Community Board 8 on a New York State banking district for this community district.
I'm going to ask that we wait and maybe tease it out. Mr. Saunders, just maybe give us a quick highlight of what's about to happen, and that you will discuss it at the committee meeting.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was asking. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Brief.
So a preview of our meeting that's going to happen on Tuesday, November 10th, is Bank of Popular has a program that they like to present to the committee and like to put into the board, into the neighborhood, as far as funding, educational funding, financial literacy, and different things like that. And you need the approval of the board to go forward with it. It's a program that's been available in the community since 1997, and we were just made aware of it just recently. So if you have interest in it, and as far as about Bank of Popular being in our neighborhood for all these years and being a part of our neighborhood, I encourage you to come in to attend the meeting on November 10th.
Great. Thank you. It's exciting very much. And I believe there was one other person waiting to speak, and I didn't catch who that was. Or did I capture everybody? All right. Well, I thank everybody, all our committee members, for joining us to reach quorum. I thank our applicant for joining us today as well. And I look forward to seeing and speaking with everybody at the next full board meeting. If there's no other business, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Tyus. Thank you, Mr. Saunders. Everybody have a great evening, and don't forget to vote if you haven't done so already. Bye-bye.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.